So first off, if you can just introduce yourselves.
Yeah, Pablo Raybould, writer and director, and I am the DI as well in the Snarling.
Laurence Saunders, and I am an actor, and I play Les and Greg in the Snarling.
It's Dee Johnston, an actor as well, and I play Haskins opposite the DI.
Wonderful. Tell us a little bit more about the Snarling itself, how it came to be.
Well, it came to be because I was in a film with Steve it was being shown at Southend at the Horror on Sea Film Festival, and having seen some of the films, I thought, you know what, we can do this. And so it's as basic as that, you know. So I went back. I was going to write it with Ben. Ben was in a stage show at the time with Chris Simmons and Joel Beckett, both of which we recruited to be in the film. But by the time he'd finished, I'd written it. So it was quite a quick process. Then we put it together. Ben's connection again. Ben is the editor, and he plays Bob in it as well. I just think that.
And he produced it.
Yeah, and he produced it. Yeah, and he managed to get Alex Moses, the son of Albert Moses, who was an American werewolf in London. So we pieced it together.
And then we got Albert. You got Albert Moses as well.
We got Albert, yeah, through that, and we pieced it together with people we know and have worked with and respect, like Laurence and Steve and everybody else. So yeah, I mean,
You respect us?
That's the first time.
Hey, I've never heard that. You're just slagging us off. That's nice, and it's proof.
I'll rephrase it. People we know.
And, well, Horror on Sea had quite a impact on the development of the film because you had the idea to make it. One Horror on Sea. By the next Horror on Sea, you'd made a teaser, the kind of little promo trailer. And by the wasn't quite the next one, was it? Was the one after?
It was actually. We jumped one, but we did.
Yeah,
we did put a short in to represent. Well, we had shown it to Paul Cockgrove, who runs that festival. It's probably the best organised festival in the land, I'd say. We've done a fair few, and it's superb. He's got a real passion for it. And we took it down before it was scored, and the sound was altered properly, and he watched it without the sound. He's been in the industry for 30 years, so he knows its potential and what it's going to be, and he just thought he loved it. So, having screened it there originally, we actually went back this January. This is the only time a film's been shown a second time, and also it was sold out as well, which is the first time it's ever had a maximum crowd, and that was brilliant. So, and it's all with their support, really. So they are responsible for this.
And there was the full moon thing as well, because there was a full moon when we were at the first time at Horror on Sea when you screened.
There was a full moon when we started shooting it, and a full moon when we finished shooting it as well, just bizarrely.
Yeah, and then when it was played, there was a full moon when we were at the festival as well. So it's kind of.
And you love mooning as well.
Mooning,
That's that out.
Yeah.
So how did you go about
Sorry.
putting the whole film together, financing it, and recruiting your actors, and actually going into production?
Financing it was. Well, we thought about going down the crowdfunding route. In fact, we did a little bit, but that, I don't know, it just presents a lot of problems in itself, I think. Personally, I don't like making a film with... When you go crowdfunding, it's always friends and family that see. You still go around like doing a sponsored run or something. It's friends and family, isn't it, predominantly? And I didn't really want to be sort of going cap in hand to friends and family.
I think crowdfunding works if you've got a crowd already in place. So my cousin's in a band, and they had a really big following, and one of their albums they crowdfunded. I think that something like that with the record label. They crowdfunded it, and were able to do that within 10 minutes of the launch of the crowdfunding hitting the target. If you haven't got the crowd already there, it does feel you're asking friends and family, and then also there's the whole thing about. It's great that people get something in return, that they maybe invest in the film, but they're going to get a DVD, or there might be set visits and all those kind of things, and that's fantastic. The other side is the logistics of that, because that can then get in the way, because when you're making the film, you're there to do a job of work, and it's great to have people come down and visit, etc., but it does add a whole level of complications onto it. And I think the crowdfunding campaign itself almost needs the kind of have to put in invest the energy that you would in making the film in the first place. So you didn't do a little?
We did a little bit. We got a little bit, and the rest of it was really self-funded.
Never a commercial.
So, and I just landed a big commercial. Just strangely, I was at the parking in Southend for the Horror on Sea Film Festival when I got a phone call, and I was with Ben and Alex, who was the DOP on it, And I said, excuse me a second, because I couldn't get a signal. Went outside, and I've got the advert basically, and I thought, great. So I went back in and said, right, we're making the film, and this is the funding we need.
So massive thanks to Nivea.
Yeah. I mean, we use the product a lot. Don't we?
Yeah,
That's why he looks so
we do.
youthful.
Yeah.
Steve's actually 57.
I am.
Can you tell us a little bit more about the actual story of the Snarling?
Yeah, it's a film crew that is making a zombie film, a bit of a naff one at that, with an actor, Greg Lupine, who is an absolute diva. He's a nightmare to work with. But whilst they're making the film, things start happening. A couple of people have been attacked. They lost a cameraman, in an earlier scene when they were filming, and it becomes quite obvious that there's something out there that's tearing these people to pieces, and some of the locals where they're filming as well. So everybody thinks it's going to be a zombie film because it opens like that, but it isn't. That's the foil. So there is a protagonist out there. We tried to keep a lid on that to start with, but it's a werewolf film.
And how did you get on with the effects in the film? Because they are quite impressive.
Oh, thank you. It's this is down to Jenny, who me, Ben, and Jen basically really did so much. I mean, the days would start, I don't know, about 4 in the morning, lugging the generator over the fields to set that up, to fuel it up, to get it going, to get the heaters going, which was a log burner in the middle of this building in the middle of the fields. And of course we couldn't leave it overnight either, because there was no security. So there were long days. And just going back to the effects, I say Jen also did the body of the beast, which unfortunately we didn't show too much of. Which was a decision when we were filming it. Ben and I decided that we wouldn't show too much of it. A little bit like John Landis said he showed too much of the wolf in American Werewolf. So we decided to. It's a shame actually, because a lot of the budget went on that. There's £1,000 worth of hair, because it came from America, the same people that did Chewbacca's fur and everything. So it looked bloody good.
It did look amazing.
And it would look even better if someone could see it, but we decided not to.
Yeah.
Yeah, because he went down the bit down because that kind of builds the tension, doesn't it? And
Yeah.
I mean, there's a clip there that Ben was just talking about.
Two
Two frames early on in the film that you see the werewolf, but it's like that, and if you don't know it's there, anybody won't spot
It's
it.
like subliminal, almost like this subliminal advert.
It's like
It
that bit of The
burns.
Exorcist, isn't it, where there's just a face pops up of
Yes.
a devil in The Exorcist for no reason, and just like bam, and it's like 2 frames. Well, there you go.
There you go. Right. And a bit like the Fight Club as well. Was those the things the edits towards? Is it towards the end of that?
Yeah.
So you've done a few festivals already. What's the audience reaction been like to the film?
It's been great.
It's been
It really has everywhere we've been with it. We won a big award in the States as well. They showed it over there. We won the genre class, and the reviews have been superb as well. Because we sort of prepared for a few knocks. Not that you ever want to see them, but you've got to be prepared for it.
And especially with this, because you've got horror and comedy, and obviously horror's got such a big fan base. If you mess with that, and don't sort of stick by those rules, and pay the appreciation to horror, you're going to have the horror fans annoyed. But the fact that you sort of did
the other way around,
and the other way around with comedy, and I think it does work really well. It's sort of straight down the middle.
Yeah. And comedy's notoriously hard as well on film. There's lots of, I can think of like classic British sitcoms that have been made into films that have not done well at all. But actually, when the film's played at festival screenings, the audiences have laughed throughout, which is
jumped
really
a few times.
And jumps,
as well.
yeah, which is really good, isn't it? Because you don't want to, you don't want to sit there, and sometimes with drama it's easy to get away with because there's not the big. There's not big laugh moments or the big scare moments. And if there's an audience there sitting there in silence throughout a drama, you're thinking, well, they're really intently watching this and they're getting loads out of it. But actually with a horror, and with a comedy especially, if the audience is sitting there in silence, you've done something wrong.
Yeah, it's strange as well with this one. You talk about sitting there watching it intently, and the people do, and they're into it. They're following the story. They're getting the laughs. They're getting everything, and then they watch it a second time, and they think they watched a totally different film because there's so many hidden Easter eggs of gags in there or references.
So just to wrap up, where can people see the Snarling?
Well, it's available on Sky TV. You can download that. It's on VOD. You can get it at HMV. They're stocking it on the shelves.
Tower Records as well, I think. Zavvi, is it on
Zavvi
Zavvi?
online,
Yeah,
yeah.
it's on Amazon Prime.
Yeah, because we were riding high in the pre-order charts of Amazon before it came out.
It's sold
I mean,
out.
Yeah,
HMV
and
online.
HMV sold out.
Yeah.
Brilliant. Thank you very much.
Brilliant.
Thank you.
Thank you.